Hey friends, I hope you're well. I want to show you today some melodic contours. I remember being a young high school student at school and studying music, and I was really struggling. I struggled to sing, struggled to play the piano, and I was struggling with my guitar playing. I didn't understand theory. I didn't have a good ear, or I had a good ear for some things, but my ear wasn't attuned to the classical music they were teaching us. And I struggled a lot through music class, but through kind of persistence and practice managed to get better at guitar, which is why I love to teach now, because the teaching I had didn't, not that they were bad teachers, but it didn't get through to me. So I try and teach in the way that got through to me, and maybe it gets through to someone else. One of the few things that did get through to me in those high school music classes was something like melodic contours. We would do classical music, Mozart, Bach, Vivaldi, whatever, Berlioz, and we would study the scores, and the teacher would play the music on CD, and we would have a book with all the orchestral scores, and we'd follow what the instruments were doing. And I learned the concept of melodic contours, which is like going up, 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 down, up, 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 down. These beautiful shapes, and though my ear wasn't so in tune to the music at the time, I could comprehend the shapes. And as I've progressed, I've realized a lot of metal, a lot of flamenco, a lot of classical. Blues, not so much, because blues is a bit more kind of primal and a bit more muddy, almost bluesy, whatever. Not that it's in any way less amazing music, it's just not so structured. But those styles that I just mentioned, electronic dance music as well, will have melodic contours. So what I mean by that, I'll do a simple example. I'm going to play in G minor today, only because I play in A minor so often. You guys might be sick of it. And it's good to play in different keys. G minor sounds beautiful anyway. That's an ultra simple melodic contour. We've gone up, down, down. And just for a bit of interest, I'm picking the open G string at the same time as that note. And you could continue that, you could just like go. That's like a very, you might hear Iron Maiden do stuff like that. They do this kind of stuff a lot. So that was, hey Tekken. 3, 6, 5, slide up to the 10th. 8, 6, 8, 6, 5, 3. What I'm not asking you to copy exactly what I'm playing here. I'm asking you to think of this concept, because what I hear people do a lot of the time, they might be in G minor and they might go, which actually sounds really cool anyway, but that melodic concept was just kind of up the scale and down the scale. Or I'll hear people do kind of like random stuff. They might go, and that's cool as well. And all of these things can sound cool. I'm not saying don't do any of this stuff. I'm just saying one of the options that you can do is make these really nice kind of patterns, shapes. That's a kind of a long one string. One of the ones I kind of wanted to show was going, so 3, 5, 6. That's the root note, the second, the third. Slide up to the 5th. Which is the 10th fret. The 5th note of the scale is the 10th fret. 10, 8, 6, 5, 3. And you can jazz that up a bit. Instead of just going 10, 8, 6, 5, 3, which is down from the 5th, 5th, 4th. When I say 5th, I mean 5th degree of the scale. I don't want to be too confusing. You can jazz it up. That's just doing a trill every note on the way down. Those are really cool. So that's the kind of stuff you can do a long one string, and then you can do shapes across the strings. So if I do a G minor scale, maybe here. So starting from the D string, that's 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 6, 8. One of my favorite things to do if I'm playing with a scale like that is that I like to do an octave jump. So I might go. That's from the 8th fret of the B to the 5th fret of this, an octave, both notes G. You can go backwards. So I love to use those octave jumps in my playing to add a bit of excitement, and a bit of intrigue, and a bit of interest in melodic contours. I mean, the sky's the limit. Once you understand once you understand the idea of these shapes, it's essentially infinite what you can do. And something I love to do is you might make a simple chord progression, and we might say G minor, C minor. And we might play essentially the same melodic contour across those two. So in G minor, I might go, I'll do really simple stuff. And then I'll do the same contour on C. You could even do it in a D major. C, G minor. That kind of stuff can be really cool. So what I'm asking you to do today is go and play your instrument and have a play with some of these shapes and make shapes, make beautiful, interesting melodic shapes, and then move them around. And let me know how you go. If you've been following my lessons for a while now, you're probably starting to get some kind of grounding in music theory. So to keep it simple for now, let's say that in G minor, you got root note, second, minor third. If I wanted to make that major, I would go root note, second, major third. It's just one note higher. The fourth is always the same, and the fifth is always the same. Unless you're doing like flatted fourth and stuff, which we're not doing right now. Flatted fifth, not doing right now. So that's G major descending. On the D string, 12, 10, 9, 7, 5. That's enough musical information to say this is G major. And if you want to do minor, you just go 12, 10, 8, 7, 5. So it's just the difference between that 8th fret and the 9th fret note in this instance. That's the difference between the minor third and the major third. So hopefully that little bit of information, if you didn't already know it, will help you to create shapes, not only in minor keys, but in major keys. Move them around the neck. I try and keep my lessons brief at the risk of being too brief. So hopefully something I've said today has caught on. Maybe not everything. I've kind of branched off in a few directions today, and I've also not explained anything particularly thoroughly because I don't want to bore you or lose you. So I'm just hoping that we've had enough connection through you maybe watching some previous videos or through your previous guitar practice that you kind of get what I'm talking about. And that there's a little aha moment in your brain and you go, hey, I can make some really cool shapes here on the guitar. I can make some very beautiful melodic shapes and I can move them depending on what chord I'm playing. So that's interesting, that's cool. Iron Maiden's a great band to listen to for some inspiration because they do a lot of this stuff where they'll take a cool lick and move it around the guitar a lot. So I can definitely recommend Iron Maiden. I mean, I do a hell of a lot of this stuff in my playing in Calidad without blowing my own trumpet. This kind of technique, this is not just something that I'm posting on YouTube, this is something that I do every single day or every single song probably. So yeah, good luck with it. Thank you for watching. Please do leave me a comment, whether it was a good lesson, whether it was a bad lesson, did you understand, did you not understand, too fast, too slow, too much musical theory, not enough musical theory. I've said this before on this channel. It's really hard. I mean, it's hard to teach anybody. It's hard to teach yourself. It's hard to teach a young student. It's hard to teach an adult, let alone to come here and make a short video where I'm trying to share information with all different kinds of people, all different kinds of playing styles. So I really do my best. Any feedback you can give me is greatly appreciated, and I take it all on board and try and make these lessons better and more useful for you guys and for myself. And I just hope everyone's having a good time playing the guitar, and I thank you very, very much. So does Tegan. Tegan, say thank you. Okay, she's asleep. Thank you.